Imagine this. You are in a conversation, surrounded by people discussing trivialities, the latest gossip, some superficial news, a repetitive topic that leads nowhere. You try to join the conversation, seeking to bring a deeper thought, a more interesting analysis. But all you receive are blank stares, quick changes of subject, or worse, that feeling that no one really understood what you meant. And then comes that inevitable conclusion. Maybe it's better if I stay silent. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. But the problem is not you. The problem is that intelligence does not bring people closer. It separates them. The more you understand the complexity of the world, the harder it becomes to find someone who sees the same as you. And don't be fooled. This intellectual loneliness is not just a result of your perception. Society, subtly, rejects those who think differently. Arthur Schopenhauer, one of the most brutal and honest philosophers in history, believed that extreme intelligence is not a gift, but a curse. A burden that isolates those who see beyond the illusion of everyday life. According to him, the more you perceive the contradictions of the world, the more frustrating it becomes to try to explain them to those who live on the surface. After all, most people do not want the truth. They want comfort. And here is the question. If intelligence leads to isolation, what is the way out? How can you live in a world where it seems that no one thinks like you? If you have ever felt this disconnection, this emptiness that comes from the lack of a true intellectual exchange, then this video is for you. Because perhaps the problem is not your loneliness, but rather what it reveals about the world around you. Is intelligence a gift or a curse? On paper, it seems obvious that being more intelligent should make life easier. You understand things faster, notice patterns that others ignore, avoid mistakes that most people make. But in practice, that same intelligence that should be an advantage turns into an invisible wall that separates you from the rest of the world. Arthur Schopenhauer understood this better than anyone. For him, extreme intelligence condemns a person to loneliness because most people simply do not want to think deeply. Not because they are incapable, but because there is no social advantage in doing so. Why delve into philosophical questions, question dogmas, see the hypocrisy of institutions, if all of this only brings discomfort? For most people, life is simpler when they accept the world as it is, without asking difficult questions. But you can't help it. Your brain is always working, always analyzing, always seeing details that others ignore. You notice when people lie to themselves, when they cling to illusions simply because it is easier than facing reality. You feel the frustration of trying to explain something and realizing that no one is really listening. Not because they disagree with you, but because what you say does not fit into the comfortable narrative they have constructed for themselves. And that is the central point. Society does not value truth. It values conformity. There is an invisible structure that keeps everything functioning, and this structure depends on people believing in certain illusions, that happiness lies in consumption, that success is following a predefined path, that common sense is always right. Those who question these premises become a nuisance, a piece out of place. This explains why, throughout history, great thinkers have been rejected before being recognized. Socrates was sentenced to death for corrupting the youth, simply because he asked questions that exposed the ignorance of the powerful. Galileo was persecuted for stating something as obvious as the fact that the earth revolves around the sun. Nietzsche was ridiculed and considered mad for challenging the foundations of Christian morality. Nikola Tesla died forgotten while others profited from his inventions.